Hello, you guys. Hello, hello. Happy Friday. If any of you are joining us live, thank you. This is super impromptu. So, one of our speakers who was going to join us today had to be pushed back. And so I'm coming on for just a super quick live stream update. If you can hear me, just drop a comment. Let us know where you're watching us. And I think that Twitter and Facebook are where I can see your comments. So I don't think I can see YouTube or Instagram, but feel free to chime in, ask questions. Very, very excited to close out a few really crazy, intense weeks of crushing House Bill 4876. So, snap of fingers, clap of hands, fist bump, high fives. Congratulations to the state of Illinois. We were able to ensure that Rep. Stava Murray from the 81st House District of Illinois would not put forward this most radical anti-parent, anti-child, anti-liberty bill that we've seen yet, especially one that is referencing the medical decisions that are made in conjunction with parents, abortion procedures. Unfortunately, when Pritzker signed that into law in 2021, children in Illinois 12 and over do not need to have a parent's notice of opting to get an abortion. It's disgusting. But that was really the gateway for Rep. Stava Murray to put forth this incredibly radical bill that we were able to stop. So congratulations. For now, this is not going to be put forward in the legislature. And we have that from her own statements. So it's pretty cool. So hi, Mark. Thank you for joining us, Naples, Florida. So yeah, it's not going to move forward. This is great news. And I just want to show that she was trolling my comments on her legislator page. And I was just saying, I was crying tears of joy when it was confirmed that she's not going to put this forth. And I was so happy for the state. I think that you need to have a lot of grit to do advocacy in this time, certainly in Illinois, but you have to have a lot of heart too. And so I was just so happy for our state that we could celebrate this win together. And Courage is a Habit has this new dossier. I'll show that snapshot in a minute. But Courage is a Habit was such a great partner in helping us really let people know of how radical these child mutilation advocates really are. These are really scary people who are pushing this harmful agenda. Whether they know the lies that they are telling or not, it doesn't matter. People need to know the reality of gender ideology and the harms of it. And so she was very cranky and she said, bigot's going to bigot, but you don't get credit for it. Hold on. Sorry, this is a GIF. And she basically said that she had concerns over the ACLU and other LGBTQ plus advocates. So trans youth still deserve support in healthcare, and she'll continue to fight that in every way possible. Well, back at you. You've met your match. So we know what the agenda is, and we're going to keep our eyes peeled for it. And more importantly, you as parents and policymakers, teachers, counselors, judges, attorneys, you all are getting red pilled right now. You're getting the 411. You're seeing all of this stuff. We're going to cover the W path and the whistleblow. The lid has been blown off on that. And so we're going to talk about that in a minute. But yeah, for now, we didn't just crush House Bill 4876, celebrate that, but we're destroying gendered ideology here in Illinois and across the country, around the world. So great job, everybody. It was really, really cool. Thank you again to Courage is a Habit. I've gotten to know Alvin since we started in 2021. That was the year I met him and saw the great work that his organization is doing. And right when he was informed and his team was informed of House Bill 4876, they got right to it. They did not waste a moment's time. They know exactly what CMAs, child mutilation advocates, do, how they operate. And so their team was great to put together this graphic, which I know many of you shared: Transgender Cult Affirm or Else, Illinois House Bill 4876. Courage is a Habit has helped kill the main bill. Great victory there. That was stopped 12-0. Bipartisan said, nope, we're not going to do this transgender trafficking. We're not going to make our state this transgender hub because people are sniffing this out. And it's an election year too. So Courage is a Habit. Thank you so much. Visit their website. And all of these slides will be available afterwards so you can click and get to all of these graphics really easily. So thanks to all the thousands of you who sent emails, whether it was through our portal. I think we were at 3,000 that were sent just from our portal alone. It was real easy. You could just send a quick opposition email, and it went to Rep. Stava Murray's email address and also all of the Rules Committee, where this bill, like I said, has been stopped. It's not going to proceed. So thanks to all of you who sent opposition emails. A special thanks to all of these wonderful people. So we started a Protect the Kids live stream right when we knew this bill was filed. We said we have to get all hands on deck. And Awake Illinois has been so intentional. Going back to August of 2022, we had Billboard Chris at the Capitol for the Common Sense Caravan to Springfield. We had Scott Nugent from the What is a Woman documentary, Matt Walsh's documentary, where she has just been screaming from the rooftops to stop transing kids. There are no trans children. Stop this. So we knew this was coming, and we were so fortunate to connect with so many different voices who have been working to protect the kids for years, longer than we have, longer than many people who are just now waking up to this. And so special thanks to Jeff Cleghorn, Jeanette Cooper, January Littlejohn, Dr. Quentin Van Meter, Sarah Higdon, Christine Rebstock, Greg Bishop is in the media. He covered this story right away. Daniel Monahan from NTD, Brandon Poulter from Daily Caller did a great article, and Illinois Review also published an article this week in light of this victory that we were able to stop this bill. So click this when you get to the slides when it's posted to the blog, and follow all of these people. They're doing such great work. And the live streams are posted to our blog with the slideshow links and with the recording. So please listen to all their voices, because this is just starting. This fight against this agenda here in Illinois is just starting. So please listen to these voices. They were so impactful, and you might learn quite a bit from them and their perspectives. Again, courage is a habit. Shout out. Great work. So these are all the live streams. You can take a look. All the recordings are there, and the links to the blog posts too. So this is a tool from Courage is a Habit. It's new. It just came out in the last week. A dossier of useful idiots. So the moral of the story, you guys, is that more idiots are going to keep pushing this agenda. Do they think it's noble? Maybe. Are they sadists? Are they groomers? Are they perverts? Maybe. But you have to stay on offense. So this dossier really just names and shames and takes power away from these people. When you call them out for who they are. Stava Murray, she is a child mutilation advocate. Look, right here. This is exactly how she is operating. She's trying to support the mutilation and sterilization of children. That's what she was trying to do with 4876. And she's still doubling down and saying that, we should be telling girls they're born into the wrong body, that boys are born into the wrong body, and medicalizing them using scalpels. This is disgusting. So we have to absolutely call them out for who they are. So this dossier is really helpful, whether it's CRT, gender ideology, whatever it is. So take a look at that dossier and share it among your parent groups, share it among your communities, and use it as a snapshot and show the picture of the legislator, show the picture of the policymaker right next to this dossier snapshot, and just tell people, this is what we're dealing with. Do not give them power. We are going to rise above and actually protect children, not let these useful idiots run the show. So the last week, there's been a lot happening in Illinois school districts. You guys let us know what you're seeing in your own backyard, and we're grateful for it. So we'll just go through a few of these. And the top three that we're going to highlight are Naperville School District 203. They just approved more than $500,000, almost $600,000 in a panorama contract for this student success program. It's basically a giant data mining program. And, is their school district at 95% literacy? No, but $500,000 to do digital surveillance basically on how they're feeling. Do they belong? Oh, feelings, so many feelings. Who cares about literacy? Let's just talk about feelings and belonging. It's so important. So we'll show that in a minute. Lamont High School offered a sex sheet. They were very frustrated that we called it a survey. They know that when you issue a survey, there's FERPA implications. And if they do not inform parents and give them opt-out due process, that's a big no-no. Big no-no. So it is a sex sheet because that makes it so much better, right, guys? So I'll show you that. Wheaton Warrenville South High School, there was a student beating. This one was very difficult for me. We got the video pretty early after it had transpired. And, you know, as a mom, I look at these stories and we've probably, of videos we've gotten from schools, we're very conservative, or I am rather, very conservative. You know, I make the call on whether we share these things, and I'm very reluctant to share these really graphic, violent videos. I think it's good when communities share it, but for us to do it, it's just a really hard thing for me. I think just because I'm a mom, and you look at these victims, and this is somebody's baby, this is somebody's child, and these are minors. So when Libs of TikTok shared it, we did share it with a caption that we were just very upset for the kids and for what's happening in our culture, in society, and obviously it trickles into the schools. So I'll show that in a minute, but let's get started. Naperville 203. This is a video that we shared so people can know if they're in District 203, what the school board approved, more than $500,000. Panorama's bad news, you guys. Like, this is just bad news to have this in your district. Get it out. Get the digital surveillance out. We're done with it. Focus on academics. But we just need to talk about feelings and belonging, and this is amazing. Gag. So I'm going to show this video. If you have Panorama in your school, I mean, you do. All of this is infiltrating all of Illinois schools. They get so much back padding for social emotional learning, hyperfixation on feelings, 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 feelings. They get money for it and blah, blah, blah. By the way, social emotional learning is now pivoting because they always change language. They're very good at language manipulation. It's going to be mental health. And they're going to take over everything for your child. They're already talking to them about sex and sex sheets and permissions for sex and blah, blah, blah. Mental health, all of it. But literacy, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll get to that. These are the priorities, and it's coming from the top down. Do teachers want to have to deal with this bloat? Most don't. Most don't. We get so many messages from teachers who want to teach the old school way, and the ones who are the exceptions, well, we're upset about it, right? Which is why good school board members who are focusing on academics is so important. School board elections matter. 2025, April, save the date, y'all. But most teachers we see want to teach the academics. They want good citizenship and to enrich that in their students. But some are issuing these sex sheets. It's disgusting. Stop doing it. I don't care what the State Board of Education is telling you. You do not have to hand a student a sex sheet. All right, we're just going to get into it. So Naperville Panorama, we're going to start there. Watch this video.
It can be shared with the family. It should be shared with the family. So the intervention history and the performance information.
It enhances transparency in that way.
That's correct.
Whoops. Hold on a second. Let me get the audio going. Start over. Can you hear it? No?
And then how does this relate to like the Panorama surveys that have been gone out to families? I just want to know, like, they both have the same name. What's the connection?
It is the same parent company. And one of the things that was most appealing to us, we looked at 8 different systems.
And then how does this relate to like the Panorama surveys that have been gone out to families? I just want to know, like, they both have the same name. What's the connection?
It is the same parent company. And one of the things that was most appealing to us, we looked at 8 different systems. And
All right, time out. This is glitching, so let me remove this because I want you guys to hear this. Just bear with me. Sorry, guys, 1 second. I'm good at rolling here. This is what happens when you work impromptu. All right, we'll share this.
It can be shared with the family and should be shared with the family. So the intervention history and the performance
So it
information.
enhances transparency in that way.
That's correct.
And then how does this relate to like the panorama surveys that have been gone out to families? I just want to know, like, they both have the same name. What's the connection?
It is the same parent company, and one of the things that was most appealing to us, we looked at 8 different systems, and one of the things that was very appealing to us is this system tracks academic data and social, emotional, and behavioral data, and it will triangulate that data with how students are feeling in our schools based on their perception data that they enter into that survey. So we can look at all of that data all at one time.
So we can literally track to see if a student that feels like they belong actually perform academically better instead of it being a theory.
Correct.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Thanks.
High five. Data mining kids is so fun, you guys. So they approved spending $500,000 on the data mining via this panorama system, 6-1, 5-year contract. So what this is going to do is effectively implement a social credit system. So your kids are going to carry around a digital backpack. How are you feeling? What lens are you using? All of the feels. More than $500,000. Look at the privacy policy, and more than a third of district students aren't reading at grade level. More than 40% aren't doing math at grade level via the IAR. But you'll hear a lot of back patting. Oh, our schools are great. Everything's great. No, reject panorama in the schools. Focus on academics, not feelings. That's our organization stance. And we want you to know the privacy laws, the opt-out rights, because you're constantly having to do whack-a-mole in Illinois. That's where we are, because this is the leadership that you have brought into the schools. So this is just where we are right now. I mean, I'm upset about it, but this is where we are. So Janelle is saying that, yeah, the Catholic schools have this as well. It's part of the EANNS funding, which is the same funding they received in the public schools under ESSER. So yeah, it doesn't matter if it's public or private. Get it out of our schools. We're over it. So take a look at that, you guys. Here, hold on. Let me get us back to our screen. All right, so keeping it real. Lamont High School sex sheet. Not a survey, so that should make you guys feel so much better. Does it make you feel better? Hold on, let me do this. All right. So they distributed this, quote, sexual limits sheets to minors in health class. The reality is, again, top down, if you're doing comprehensive sexual education, it has to be radical. It has to be the activist-based curricula. We've put this out for years, awakeil.com/opt-out. This is in Illinois schools. It is not hyperbole. Teachers in the classroom are the ones actually handing the materials, showing the videos, having the discussions. They're the barrier. And I know there are teachers who are saying, yeah, I'm not going to hand this out. I don't care if it's the packet you want me to use. You know what you can do? Send it in an email to the parents. Let them decide whether they're going to have their kids thinking about sex without a condom, more than one sexual partner while in high school, having sex with someone you just met. Why should they be thinking about this during the school day? Why are we sexualizing children? I don't care what the State Board of Education is telling you. They are bootlicking hacks. I don't care. Stop with this nonsense. This is ridiculous. There is nothing noble about having kids thinking about flirting, hugging, kissing. They're hormonal teenagers. Why are you giving this to them? Stop making out at a party, touching a partner below the waist, using drugs together, using alcohol together. This is not noble. Get this crap out of the classroom and out of the school day. You think it's so great? Give it to the parents and say, hey, at the dinner table, you guys want to talk about this? Oh, but they're not going to talk about it with their kids. That is their right. Knock this stuff off. I'm disgusted by it, and so should you be. So Libs of TikTok ended up sharing our post, and the school district responded in an email, which is at the blog post. They were very eager to clarify that this wasn't a survey. But all they care about is getting sued. They don't care about them being, perverts by having kids think about sex at school. what time are we in right now? Lord have mercy. So read about it at the blog. I'm over it. This one was just sad. I'm just sad for students that are beating each other up in these bathrooms. There's vaping in the bathrooms. Bathrooms are just a cesspool at school, I'll be honest, especially if you have a boy. Hold it. Wait till you get home, because these bathrooms are just, there's so much debauchery. And this is where the kids go to fight. I don't care if you're a punk kid. This is disgusting what's happening with the culture of our kids. And, you know, you see kids eager to videotape it, I'm showing my age, to record it on their smartphones. I know there's a lot of debate around this. Should kids have a phone? Shouldn't they? I don't know. If your kid's the one getting beat up, you might be glad that there's documentation of it. I would say stop going into the bathroom and getting into fights. But it was really hard. It was really hard to share it. I have not watched the video. I can't watch that stuff. It's too disturbing to me. I know the context of it. And so, you know, I feel badly for what's happening with our kids. So parents need to parent. And the reality is people are really upset with the suspensions that were given. I believe that the offenders got 2 days suspension. It's alleged that the victim got 10 days, and there was maybe some questionable threat that was made, and then accusations of swatting were made that the victim of the fight was also a victim of swatting. It's a mess. It's just a total mess. And restorative justice policies in schools aren't working. We get stories all the time from you guys. You know, a kid took a picture of another kid's privates in a bathroom and only got a 2-day suspension, got to stay on the basketball team. Turns out it's a teacher's son. How nice for that kid. No consequences. I'll tell you what, an adult takes pictures of somebody's genitals and posts it to social media. That's what this kid did. You could be charged for that. You're circulating somebody's privates on social media. That's perverted. But 2-day suspension and go dribble and have a great time on the court. This is what social justice reform is. This is corruption in the schools. Well, have fun with that. It's going great, as it turns out. So now there's a March 13th rally planned outside the high school at 6:30 p.m. Wear purple. You know, the community is upset about it. I just think it's a shame. So moving on back to the WPATH files. So again, gender ideology, this fight's only beginning. And what the WPATH files have done is basically shown how this WPATH is the acronym for World Professional Association of Transgender Health. They're really the only organization that has sort of tried to make trans medicine respectable. Well, as it turns out through these leaked files, thanks to Mia Hughes' efforts, there's nothing respectable about what these sadists are doing. Mia is actually, I'm discussing with her when she's going to be able to come on for a live stream. She's been on just a total media circuit, obviously, to bring awareness to the work that she's done. But these doctors that are members of this organization, they are doing harmful things to children and to vulnerable adults. That's the reality. And we've linked to Tavistock, the link, because Tavistock was the big gender clinic in the UK that's been closed. That's our crystal ball. They closed for, quote, failure of care. They were harming people. They were medicalizing and doing surgeries on the mentally ill. What does that sound like? That sounds a lot like the lobotomies of the 20th century, doesn't it? Which were stopped because this was sadistic and it was wrong. This is no different here. And so Mia's going to come on. We'll promo that once we set the date and time. She did great work. Michael Schellenberger, Environmental Progress. They're on a big circuit. You can find YouTube videos. Michael Schellenberger had a 4-hour space with a lot of really powerful advocates to protect kids and to crush gender ideology. So if you don't want to wait for when Mia comes on, definitely take a look at this, because this is what's going to be the beginning of the end for trans medicine, particularly with children. And I think all these gender clinics across the country. So it's going to come, but you guys need to spread awareness. You know, these tools at Courage is a Habit, you know, the love bombing that happens with these kids when they're told that they're queer and they're trans. And, you know, these are vulnerable children. And I think that as more of this awareness comes about, finally, families, you've been messaging us. We've been connecting you to Partners for Ethical Care, good resources for your kids who are confused. This will stop. It's going to take lawsuits, Chloe Cole, all these poor kids, right? It's going to happen, but it's really about having this awareness and sharing these resources. So we'll keep you posted on Mia and when she's going to come on. And these are just sad stories. You know, people were sending me these snapshots who I know are very involved in advocacy, like I said, long before I was. And this is one of the sadder ones. So Dr. Thomas Satterwhite, a renowned surgeon, quote, in the environmental progress files that were released, this doctor allegedly spoke of a patient who became dangerous and threatening while still undergoing post-op care as a result of undiagnosed mood disorders that did not surface until post-op. Spoke publicly of how Dr. Thomas Johnson helped him overcome his emotional discomfort in one of his earliest cases of a gay man who wanted to be castrated. He asked Johnson for advice on how to get more surgeons on board with non-standard gender surgeries. Unfortunately, this person, Yarden Silvera, allegedly committed suicide. And it was post-op, post-reassignment surgery. And on the left, you see this person talking about the pain that they were encountering. They have autism. It's endless suffering and even more suffering. I wish voluntary euthanasia was legal. This is a horrible, horrible story that came out of these medical procedures. And at the end, you see, quote, Dr. Thomas Satterwhite and Dr. Maurice Garcia, both in California, who are my original surgeons, have basically killed me. And then went on to kill themselves. So Ann Stava Murray talks about how this is life-saving, affirming care. Gender medicine is a house of cards and it will fall down. And we're glad to do our part here in Illinois, and stopping House Bill 4876 was a huge victory to prevent this from happening to Illinois children and to prevent parents who stand in the gap of this. Those parents who are looking to protect their children should never be called abusers. That's what Ann Stava Murray was trying to do. Any parent who's trying to protect their children from these disgusting surgeries that does nothing to help their mental health only worsens it. This is what good parents do. They are not abusers. So again, great job, Illinois, for stopping 4876, because arguably this is saving lives. So Laura Becker, she is amazing. I've had the opportunity to meet her. She gets kids these days. She's young. She knows what kids are up to. And she celebrates being quirky. And she has a book coming out, Quirky, Not Queer. And so she's going to be coming on Monday. She is a detransitioner. I'm really frustrated that our phones and devices have not added detransitioner to the dictionary, but that is a real word. Detransitioners are victims of gender medicine, and they are rejecting it, and they're empowering others to reject it too. So to protect the children, she is going to be coming on episode 9 on Monday at 10 a.m. Please join us. She's a really amazing woman who is going around the country to protect kids, to speak in favor of or in opposition of legislation, and she will have some thoughts on 4876 on the lies spewed by Rep. Ann Stava Murray. So please join us. She's just a really cool person, and so I look forward to having you hear her perspective on Monday. So just in time, March 12th is Detransition Awareness Day. You see Chloe Cole up there on the right next to Billboard Chris. She was actually Speaker Mike Johnson's guest last night at the State of the Union address. I won't comment on that. You can go to my Twitter to see what I've had to say about that. But she was a special guest there, and she's just become this really positive and joyful face of what was just a terrible thing that happened to her. But she has made it into something that is very that's empowering our country, really, right, to do right by kids. And so I think that this is just going to be a great year for children. It's going to be a great year to protect children, certainly in Illinois. And I think we just need to celebrate that this was a huge win for our state, and that advocacy and your voices do matter, that they can be heard, and that pressure works. And Awake Illinois is really proud to be part of that effort. So Please share this if anything stuck out to you. Share a blog post, share our live streams, and do everything in your power to protect these kids because it's going to take all of us. So thank you for your work, everyone, and have a great weekend. And talk to you Monday. See you at 10 a.m. with Laura Becker. Bye.